So today we're going to work on this Volkswagen Touareg, and the issue is really common because it's going to be related to the steering wheel angle. So let me hook up the diagnostic tool and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So the main customer complaint is this white here, the traction white. So now I'm going to take the diagnostic tool, the good old vacuum, and I'm going to show you what is the issue with this car, which is probably really common on these cars, especially in this case Volkswagen Touareg. Okay, so VCDS loaded, and let's go directly in the steering wheel control module. So module number 16. So let me see where was the wife data for measuring the angle of the wheel. I don't remember exactly which group it was. Yeah, group 31. Yeah, as we can see, group 31. So right here we are seeing the exact steering angle right now. I am rotating the wheel, of course, and it's changing as it should be. You're going to see why we have this fault code. Actually, I forget to show you the fault code, sorry about it. This is the fault code G85, and as you can see, the fault code is intermittent, because as we can see right now in measuring box, let me go once again in 31, group 31. As we can see right now, it's working perfectly. But I'm going to show you why it's really important to use the graph mode in VCDS to diagnose this issue. So let's go in graph. So as we can see underneath here, I'm going to deselect these three options. We're not going to need it. After that, I'm going to click only on this, and as we can see, the min and max is to 500. You need to set it to 500 because, let me show you, when we rotate the wheel, we're going to go to how much? 480 minus 480, and if we go on the opposite side, we're going to be somewhere around plus 480. So yeah, 477. So as we can see, this is the exact movement of the wheel which we are seeing. So to be sure that we have an issue with the steering angle sensor, now I'm going to rotate the wheel really slowly, and we're going to check for abnormal behavior while I'm doing this. So you need to do it relatively slowly, because this is going to help you much easier to capture the issue, if there is some kind of issue, of course. As you can see, for now it's working like it should be. Of course, this blips is because when I release the wheel, it's coming back in its place, so this is normal. We are searching for something really abnormal, which is going to trigger this fault code, which the control unit is searching for if there is an issue. This is the end position, so once again we're going to go in the reverse direction. Oops, as we can see, the fault code triggered right away, and I was talking about this, as we can see, and after that we go straight back to the normal behavior. This is what the control module is seeing. This is why it's triggering the fault code. So let's see, am I going to be able to do it one more time? Once again, I am rotating the wheel really slowly. Once again, as you can see here, it's doing it once again. So let me go to the end position, in this situation to the left. but these two blips are enough to condemn the steering wheel sensor that is bad and that it needs replacing. This is why it's really important to check the graph mode in VCDS, because if you check the wife data with only a pits and not in graph mode, you are not going to see this. I can guarantee you. It's happening just from a really small period of time, so you are not going to be able to see it. So I think it's making it only on the other direction. So yeah, let me see if I go to the end of the wheel. Let me do it once again on the other direction. I'm doing it relatively fast now. I need to be much more slower. Oops, once again, as we can see. So this is what you're going to want to see when you're trying to diagnose this sensor, and as we can see, we can clearly condemn the sensor. So the next thing which I'm going to do after we saw this is to remove the steering wheel, of course. So to do this, there is two notches here from behind. So the removing of the airbag of the steering wheel is a little bit tricky. You need to press this teeth on the both sides. Here is the other side, and you're going to have only one position to do it. It's going to be from behind here. So probably it's going to be a little bit hard to show you, but you have a window right here which you can put some lever like so, and you're going to be able to press it. And when you press down this teeth, you need to move it. You're going to be able to push it underneath this, so you need to press this downwards. Then you're going to be able to remove first the right side and after that the left side. Doesn't matter which side you're going to begin with. So I'm going to try to do it with one hand. So you're going to need to remove the plugs from the steering wheel itself, not from the airbag side. So let me try. So you're going to need to push to pull down this green part of the plug towards you. So let me give it a try. Let me try with the lever which I removed the steering wheel with. Oops. Okay, like that. So you need to press down like so, and this is going to release the plug from the steering wheel. And there is one more plug down here, this one. So let me use once again to see what I'm doing. You need to press down here and here it is. And the airbag is released. I'm going to leave it aside, and once again I'm going to undo this 12-point bolt here. Okay, so I have undone the bolt with the impact, and I have used how much M12. So this is the size of the socket, 12-point socket. After that you're going to want to unclip this plug here. And yeah, I have made my own markings because I'm not exactly sure do we have missing teeth here or something like that. As you can see, we have some original marking here, but I have made my own. So now I should be able to, okay, as we can see, the steering wheel, I'm going to put it somewhere behind. And now the next step is pretty obvious. I'm going to remove these two plastic trims, and probably going to finally uncover the steering wheel sensor. So to remove these two trims, you're going to need, how much it was, how they were called, this type of keys, Allen key or something like that. So you're going to have one bolt underneath here in this hole. I have undone it already, so this is the bolt underneath. And now we should remove the upper part, which is not held by anything. So let me try with this plastic. So here it should pop up right up like so. that, and as you can see we have 2 more bolts, but probably I'm not going to be able to undo them with one hand, so let me remove it and we're going to continue. Okay, so the second bolt, and yeah, the trim should go out of our way. Something else is holding it, I guess the lever, or yeah, like so. Yeah, actually if we leave it like that, it's not big of an issue. We have already access to the thing which we're going to work with, and yeah, actually we don't have a missing teeth here. As you can see, we don't have a missing teeth, so you can mess up the reinstallation of the steering wheel, so it's a good idea to put some marking when you're removing the steering wheel. Now, to be able to remove this whole assembly, steering wheel column module, let's say, we're going to need to undo this bolt under behind here. This Allen key, probably 5mm or 6mm. Let's remove the plugs, and this plug also, like so. And now, yeah, I believe it's only 2 plugs. So now I'm going to take Allen key and I'm going to undo it. This should let us remove the whole assembly out of the steering column. So I undone the bolt. Let me show you. As you can see, this is the clamp, and it's open top and it's freely moving there. Yeah, I used just a #5, and in theory now I should be able to pull up this steering wheel column like so. So as we can see, this is the whole assembly, and as you can imagine, guys, we are not going to buy a new one. The owner is going to search for a second-hand unit, because this is going to be really expensive, and actually I'm not 100% sure which part of it was for the steering angle sensor, because this should be for the airbag. The cock spring should be for the airbag, but it should not be for the steering wheel sensor. I'm not 100% sure. Can only the steering wheel angle sensor be changed, or you're going to need to change the whole assembly? Because I have done some search, and yeah, you can replace only the levers for the blinkers and for the wipers. As we can see, they have different part numbers, and as we can have different part number on the cock spring. Okay, so I separated the levers for the wipers and the blinkers, and yeah, you're going to need to disconnect these 2 plugs, and there were one bolt with T8, and yeah, 2 clips on the top, and you're going to be able to pull it out. But still, I think yeah, this is the levers still. You're not going to need this. This is the cock spring, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the sensor, the steering wheel sensor is attached behind it. So let me do some digging, and I'm going to see. Okay, so I managed to separate them. As we can see, you're going to need once again these 2 clips. Also, the tricky part is that you're going to need to hold this pin on the plug while pulling down the cock spring, and then you're going to be able to remove it. Yeah, this is the connections which it's making here. Probably it has some contact fluid here because it's kind of greasy. So let me put this aside too. I believe, if I'm not wrong, this should be the steering sensor. So let me check the part numbers which are here, and we're going to see am I wrong or right. But I believe this should be the steering wheel sensor. I cannot find any information about this. Probably some of you Volkswagen guys going to know more deeply about this, but I cannot find any part number on this which can help me to understand, is this the steering angle sensor itself, or is it located in the cock spring inside. the only part number which I'm getting is this on the top. So I guess the cock springs come in one piece together with the bottom part of it. So I guess you cannot buy only this part. So on the next day, the owner have found a second-hand cock spring. Once again, this is ours, the old one, the 41. Let me show you once again the number. The number is identical on both of them. As we can see, it ends up with B. And yeah, the junkyard have marked their cock spring on several places, as we can see, which I don't care. So now I'm going to reinstall it back in the car. Yeah, I'm going to install the levers once again. Going to install it the same way that we have removed it, and we're going to see is it working or not. So, you know how it is with these second-hand units. Sometimes you're going to need to buy several of them until you find a working one, but hopefully we're going to be lucky so to not remove it several times until we found a working one. So let's give it a try. Okay, so I have tightened up the bolt behind, I have poked the two box, and pretty much I'm just going to install the wheel without the airbag. So before proceed with the installation of the steering wheel, it's really important to know where is the exact center of the cock spring, because if we don't know it, we're going to break the cable inside. So for this, we're going to rotate it. We're going to need to press this button here, so to be able to rotate it. And we're going to see exactly how much rotations we're going to have. So first of all, I'm going to go to the end position, on the left side. Yeah, this is the end position. You're going to feel the cock spring is going to stop. So now I'm going to count it. We're going to go from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 90 degrees like it was here. So let's go back here, and I'm going to return 2 times. And this is the exact center of the cock spring. So this is how I'm going to install the steering wheel, because I'm going to have enough length of the cock spring, because as we saw, we have from side to side 480 degrees, which should be plenty enough for our job. Like so. I'm like that. I'm not even going to attach the bolt, because I don't want to keep removing this plastic trims every time that I'm testing. This should be enough to test the steering wheel angle sensor. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to test for the airbag cock spring, but this should be enough for the steering angle at least. So let me hook up the diagnostic tool and see how it performs. Okay, so this time I'm going to use the good old launch. So I'm going to start up the car. But I'm going to be sure that I'm going to have enough battery. So let's go in the steering angle. Yeah, I have all kind of lights here. But we are interested only in one thing. After that we're going to figure out the rest. And it looks like that, yeah, probably this one is not going to work as usual. So I cannot even communicate with the steering column module, so I guess there is something wrong in it. I have checked several times, I have poked everything that is needed, but I don't have even a communication with it. Okay, my bad, I guess. I was trying to connect to the steering angle sensor, and I decided to plug in our original one, because previously we had at least a communication with it, and even now with the original one plugged in, I don't have a communication with the steering angle sensor. But after that I remember that this was not our module which I need to connect. And if we connect to the steering column oops, not this, steering, stop it, we need to connect to the steering column electronics systems. So it was my bad, And if we try to connect to it, we're going to see that I'm going to be able to connect it. This is the part number as we saw before a second for our module. But right now it's connected our original one, so I'm going to reconnect the old one with the new one, and we're going to see is it going to talk then. Okay, second try with the second hand unit. Okay, we have connected. Right now probably we're going to have auto-fault codes, so let's clean them up. And here we're probably going to need to code it. So now let's see. Okay, I have found it. This is the steering angle degrees, and as we can see it's some nonsense degrees because we haven't calibrated the sensor. But let's do the rotation test and see are we going to have some dropouts as before. Sorry about the glare, but it's really sunny today, so I hope, yeah, I guess you're going to be able to see what I'm doing. Once again, I'm rotating slowly. If you guys remember, previously the dropout was on the other side. So this is the end position. We are at how much? 244. So let's go in the other direction. For now it looks okay. I don't know how, but the steering column module decided to do its own calibration by itself. Right now the steering wheel is, let's say, almost centered, and we are at 1.8 degrees, and if I go to the full left position, we are at, oops. Okay, so back, I have the data pit once again. So end position 480. As we remember previously, we were hitting this degree, and if we go in the other direction, full right, minus 470. So pretty much as before. I don't know how the module decided to do its calibration by itself, but it made it. So kind of interesting case. So for now, it seems to work. I have tried several times to rotate it slowly, fastly, it doesn't matter. I don't see any dropouts while rotating the wheel, so I guess this is going to be a working unit, hopefully. And yeah, I'm going to try several more times, and if I have an issue, I'm going to take the camera and show you, but for now it looks that it's working. Probably in basic settings there will be some, yeah, as we can see, steering angle calibration. Let's try to do it. Yeah, we're going to need some approval. I'm going to need the VCDS for this. I'm not going to be able to do it with the launch. So yeah. Okay, so I took the VCDS and now in the security access I'm getting this. To enable the basic settings, I'm going to need to type this number. So let's do it. And now let's see, are we going to be able to do it? So right now it's try to center it like so, and click the, you guys think, probably not on. Adjusting steering, I'm not sure, probably it should, or it's just okay. So let's go, I guess let's go back. Fault codes, let's try to clear controls of steering wheel. Yeah, I guess this was the calibration, it wasn't so hard. So I need to figure out the rest. What is this? Control module for direction, stabilization assistance. Probably because this module is from other car. Yeah, I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to plug in the original module, steering wheel column module, and I'm going to see what is the current coding on it, and probably going to try to type it here so to make it work. So give me a second and I'm going to show you what's my idea. Okay, so hopefully you guys see, but I have plugged in the original module which the car had, and yeah, I have connected to it. So let's see once again the coding of it. So as we can see, it's a little bit different. Once again, sorry about the glare. So 3 zeros, C15. I'm going to try to memorize it and going to type this in the new module. So let me plug in once again the new one and try to code it. Okay, I have put back the second-hand unit. So let's connect and try to change the coding. So as we can see, once again, it's totally different. So coding. So it was C15. I don't know if this is going to make a change. And how to save it, how it was, I don't remember. Oops. No. Yeah, this is the... But how to save it? Oh, okay. So do it. Coding accepted. And now, if we delete the fault codes, what's going to happen? Controls in steering wheel. Why is this? No signal, no communication. Yeah, I haven't plugged still the airbag, but this should not cause any issues. The airbag is, or maybe this one. Let me plug this. I'm not sure this plug what is for, and see what's going to happen. Just a second, guys. Okay, so I think I found the problem. I have checked everything, and after checking more in depth the cork spring inside the plastic, I have found out that I'm not sure the camera going to capture it. Let's give it a try. Watch here. Hopefully the camera going to catch it, but it's pretty obvious that the cork spring is broken. The ribbon cable, or I don't know how was the right name for this, so it is damaged. That is why I am not able to fix the issue with the buttons on the steering wheel, and also I was not able to clean up the fault codes for the airbag, the driver's airbag. Doesn't matter, I have attached the plug and everything included. I was not able to clean it, and yeah, after that I found out that the cork spring cable is broken. So the thing that I'm thinking is going to be to install the original cork spring from the car and install it to the second-hand module that the owner bought. So we're going to make hybrid, let's say. So I'm going to transfer the cork spring from this module to this one, and hopefully it's going to work. I'm still not 100% sure where is the steering angle sensor. Probably is inside the module. Hopefully it's there, because if it's somewhere in the cork spring, it's not going to work, but I don't think it is there. So yeah, we have talked to the junkyard. They give us the authority to do this, because as we can see, they have their own markings, and if this doesn't work, they are not going to want to take it back, but they allow us to do it. So now I'm going to remove it, going to install this cork spring, and we're going to give it a try once again. Okay, so the junkyard cork spring is removed. I have installed the original one from the car. So let's go in the steering wheel. Ignition on. And let's give it a try to clear out the fault codes. Okay, so finally fault free. Let's try to clear out the fault codes in the airbag. Previously I was not able to do it, once again, because of the cork spring. Driver's airbag. Okay. Why is doing it so slow? Let's see once again, no fault codes. So now I'm going to go back in the steering wheel. Of course we're going to go in measuring to see is everything okay once again with the steering angle sensor. So I don't remember which channel it was. Yeah, it was this. Not sure, probably we're going to need to do once again. I don't have a fault code actually for calibration, so it should be fine. So which one it was? Okay, it's zeroed out. So yeah, let's leave the green one, and yeah, the both data was 500 minus 500 and plus 500. So now I'm going to start up the car. Probably the battery is getting low. Road stability control. Why I'm getting this? I don't like this. But is it possible the steering angle sensor to be here? I highly doubt. So let's give it a try. Yeah, oops, I forget about the airbag is going to fall down. I'm going to try to hold it. Actually the steering pump is making some whining noises. Probably this is one of the other issues that the car has. Some problem with steering fluid leaking. Yeah, you guys think anything? Hopefully. Yes, it's really whining. Probably going to need to add some fluid. I saw in the morning that it has some drippage of oil underneath the car. For now it looks okay. Yeah, I believe it's going to be fine. Let's see what fault code. Do we have any fault codes? No fault codes, cool. Let's see in the ABS system. Steering angle sensor, impossible. Probably this is stored fault code. Okay. And now, when I go out of the ABS system, this should stop blinking. Yeah, it stopped. So the only white dot left is for the remaining fuel, which is kind of low, of course, as all of these luxurious cars, they are driving it without fuel because they cannot afford even the fuel. So yeah guys, I believe this was all the drama with this car. So yeah, it turns out that probably the angle sensor is inside this module, not in the cork spring. I'm going to drive it a little bit to see is everything okay, but I'm pretty sure that it should be inside here. As we saw, we have changed this with a second-hand unit, and we have used our cork spring because this was faulty one from the junkyard. Actually, the junkyard told me that this is taken from Audi A8, and once again, this is Volkswagen Touareg. They are using the same cork spring and steering wheel module. As we saw, we have coded it, and everything seems fine. So yeah, it should be trouble free. Now I'm just going to reassemble the plastic trims, I haven't attached still the bolt behind there, so I'm just going to remove the wheel and going to install all the trims, and everything should be fine. So okay guys, just wanted to show you this really common issues with these newer cars, the cock spring and the steering angle sensors. Almost all the brands have this issue, not only the German ones. On Japanese cars this issue is really common also, it's not only on the German cars. So yeah, this is what you're going to need to do to replace this sensor. If you take a second-hand unit, you're going to need to code it. Once again, if you take a brand new, once again you're going to need to code it with the extras of the car. So yeah, okay guys, you're going to need just a VCDS and some common hand tools. So I'm going to end up the video here. Thank you for watching guys, and see you in the next video.